Sup, fucker?
How the hell are ya?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Pretty good, dude. A little tired,
Yeah,
a little sleepy.
that's what happens when you wake up at 3 a.m.
Yeah, I got a lot done this morning though, so ate breakfast twice.
Nice.
Went to the gym, worked out, played on the drums, played the guitar a little bit,
I think the important part is that you got second breakfast.
Second breakfast.
11sies. Afternoon tea.
Newsies. I had oatmeal and toast, and then I saw some everything bagel rice cakes.
Ooh, were they good?
Actually, really good. Yeah.
Have you tried the everything bagel ramen?
Yeah.
It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it is.
I hate it. The breakfast
one though.
Yeah. Top tier.
Cup of noodles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's way better than it has any right to be.
Yeah. I even like the s'mores one. I might be the odd man out.
I don't think I've tried it.
Tastes like... So, a lot of Polynesians eat, cocoa with cabin crackers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those really thick crackers that come in a metal tin.
Yeah.
And you spread butter on the crackers and then put them in the cocoa, like a bowl of cocoa, and then you just mash up the crackers like that. And so that's what it reminded me of. So I really liked it. My kids fucking hated it though. So
I think a lot of things that are s'mores flavored are usually not good.
yeah.
But once in a while you get that odd pearl.
Yeah.
I think you have to like s'mores to start.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't like s'mores, you're kind of weird anyways, but I like s'mores, but it's sometimes they're a little too sweet. I can only have half of one.
Yeah, I'm good for the first couple bites, then I'm like, oh, I can't do this.
Yeah. And then somebody makes another one and says, "You want this?" "Yes, I'll eat it."
You're like, oh, yeah.
The last one was too sweet, but maybe this one, it's going to be different.
So we're going to talk about the Manosphere, the red pill culture.
The Manosphere.
So...
It's fucking alpha, dude.
It's alpha as fuck, bro. I'm a high-value man. You fucking beta bitches.
It's so funny.
I'm sorry, if you refer to yourself as an alpha, or a sigma, or a high-value man, you're fucking gay.
If you refer to yourself as an alpha, or as other people as betas, or sigmas, or omegas, you can ligma. Fucking balls, because that's so dumb.
Ligma. I dig it.
Yeah.
Put that on a bumper sticker.
Yeah.
Ligma balls.
Ligma balls.
Yeah, when you see the guys who are actually claiming, I'm a pure alpha male, you're like, how small is your dick?
Yeah. It's funny because I was like... So we've talked about it, and you brought up Andrew Tate and some of the other guys in the Manosphere, alpha culture bullshit podcaster or YouTubers, I guess. And I had kind of seen a lot of some of their stuff, a lot of the people's reels and stuff like that. And I always thought it was dumb, and I never really looked into it until we talked about doing this, a deeper dive on these supposed alphas. And it was just so cringy, It was hard to get through, honestly. And so I just started watching, other YouTubers that were just making fun of their videos. And that was a lot easier for me to take in because it was just so cringe.
Yeah, I can't watch their direct content.
Yeah.
Because, for one, you're giving them a click, and they don't deserve it.
Right.
But the other part is you're getting a normal person's perspective on these, super-duper alpha guys, and they're just roasting the fuck out of them. One of my favorite jokes that I heard was about Wes Watson. Did you come across him?
I did.
The joke was... this YouTuber was like, Wes Watson is what you would get if Andrew Tate had a baby with Andrew Tate and was raised on Andrew Tate content.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, let's just go right into Andrew Tate, because he's like kind of the OG of this internet alpha male bullshit with TikTok and everything else. And let's just talk about the elephant in the room first. Andrew Tate is a rapist.
Yeah.
He's a fucking disgusting human being.
Wasn't he, like, charged with sex trafficking or some shit like that?
Still either under investigation or going through the court process of criminal charges for human sex trafficking, sexual assault, and a whole myriad of different things. But that's in Romania. But he can't leave Romania.
Yeah.
Because he's stuck there till it's all solved. I'm totally innocent and blah, blah, blah. And then you watch any lick of content with him, and he's telling everybody the things that he does.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're over here saying you're innocent to the courts, but on the internet, you're saying, oh yeah, I smack him around before I have sex with him, and I beat him up, and I get these girls to...
'Cause that's what they deserve.
Because I'm a high-value man. Dude, the way he talks is just like, what is wrong with your inflection and your speech pattern?
Hurt you, first of all. Like, where is this accent coming from? Is he from Canada?
Pretty sure he's American.
Oh.
I don't know.
So yeah, I looked up like his bio, and it was said that he was first put in the public eye. He was on Big Brother in England or London. So I don't know if he's from London, or I don't know where his accent comes from, but it's fucking stupid as shit. Sounds like he just is trying to have an accent, either a British person trying to have an English accent, or an American person trying to have an English accent, failing at both.
He talks like every few words he's got a chunk of peanut butter stuck in the back of his throat.
Yeah.
Because he'll just like randomly open his mouth really wide and mispronounce a word. And I tell all these girls,
stop, take a minute, take the dick out of your mouth, and fucking tell me what you're trying to say.
Take your brother's dick out of your mouth. His brother's just as bad as he is.
Yeah.
Well, what I find funny about a lot of these guys is that pretty much all of them fake or blatantly lie about like their past experiences. Like Andrew Tate's a world kickboxing champ in the one division of kickboxing that the rest of divisions of kickboxing don't acknowledge.
Yeah.
And they hyperinflated it, and it's like you look at one video of him and he's like 2-0 or whatever, and then the next fight he's in, he's like 98-1. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Which one is it? Come on, man.
And one of his fights was against like a teenager. The kid was like 19. And he was not in good shape or whatever. It's like they just grabbed some kid and paid him fucking $50 to get in the ring.
Yeah.
And Andrew Tate just beat
I
the shit out of him.
fucking kicked his ass.
I kicked the fuck out of him. We're talking about he was like what was it? He was some kind of chess grandmaster at like 6 years old or something. And you're like, what?
What?
But you can look that stuff up. And there's one guy, I watched his video. He looked it up and he's like, nope, nothing there.
Yeah.
And then he finds another one later on where he was in the division, but he was like last place.
People that get online and especially like boast about all these things that they've done. I mean, you see it a lot in politics also, but I don't know why people don't think that other people won't look that shit up.
Yeah.
It's like pretty easy to tell if you're telling the truth or not. You just look it up. Quick little Google search and you say, oh, this guy's full of shit.
Yeah.
Why should I listen to anything he says?
It's like pretty much everything that's public record is available to anybody at any given time.
Yeah.
So who do you think you're fooling?
Right.
I think the worst part about Andrew Tate, though, is in the same with Wes Watson, the whole buy my program.
Buy my program.
Join in my war room or doxing the Matrix.
I need warriors behind me that are battle ready.
And then some people have leaked some of the content from his speeches and all that, and it's just regurgitating the same shit over and over and over. Mm-hmm. It's the Matrix is trying to get me. Women have no value. I'm a high value man because I have money. And it's like, shut the fuck up, dude. He's one of those people I kind of wish I would meet in a bar one night and we get into it.
Yeah.
Just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. He'd go fucking alpha all over your ass. Like, no, it's really sad. Like, it seems like all these guys, Wes Watson, fucking Tate, who are the other guys? Joey Stacks.
Oh my God.
Liver King. I mean, they talk about, well, Liver King excluded, but like, they talk about being the best, having the coolest cars, fucking the hottest bitches.
Yep.
Like, dude, I used to think like that too, and then I turned 13. I grew up. Like, come on, guys, you have this adolescent mentality and spewing it on the internet. Like, who do you think's going to follow you? All these little boys. And it's like, okay, now you're wearing like these super tight pants. It's Peter Pan, dude. They're the Lost Boys.
It really is. A lot of them, even Andrew Tate especially, because he claims to be the smartest man on the planet, and he's said it many, many, many times. And it's like, you're not even smart enough to be self-aware that you look like a fucking tool.
Yeah, I think that his brain is probably smoother than his bald head.
I love that he's one of those people. He's like, I shave my head by choice. If I let my hair grow, I'd have better hair than you. And then you see him with hair when he came out of prison. And it's like, no.
That was a lie.
You're worse off than me, dude. And I got that cul-de-sac going.
No, I don't know. It's really... I guess it was entertaining, but that's the thing is they have so many views and so many people that are actually buying into their bullshit that it's scary.
It is.
To think about, really.
And that's where I get, like, frustrated with the Andrew Tate one specifically, because you had all these people who were journalists that I used to kind of respect, like Candace Owens or Tucker Carlson, and they do these softball interviews with Andrew Tate, and they don't ever ask him, like, well, what about rape, or what about all these other fucking things that you're doing that are terrible? Instead, they just go, you're wrongfully persecuted, I understand. Like, no, that guy's an animal.
Yeah.
He should be in a cage.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
But you guys are acting like he's some kind of pariah, and he's not. He's a villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't fucking stand that guy. And there's a point where it's like, you're watching the stuff, and it's funny. And then there's a point you go, why am I watching this idiot? And he even tells all of his followers, like, post everything. Post all the most, like, controversial clips and shit that I've said, because it gets views. It gets clicks.
And I think that's really what it is about now, is a lot of them are just it's the shock value that they're going for, and it's those shocking clips get views, and that just drives people to their sites, and then if they have something to say, and then people are interested in it, so they get duped into buying their stupid programs where they just say the same dumb shit.
Yeah.
Like, quit being a bitch and just go do shit.
Stop being a fucking pussy.
I think what's really weird is it seems like most of these influencers have a lot in common. Like, most of them have
steroid use.
Steroids, which makes you kind of go crazy if you're abusing it, like most of them are.
Yeah,
obviously. And then a criminal record. So it's like, okay, this person is using a substance that'll make you have emotional outbursts and probably don't have the greatest morals already. Mm-hmm. So this person is probably just totally unhinged. Why the fuck is anybody even listening to what they have to say?
Well, and it really kills me that somebody like Andrew Tate has all these devout followers that he, like, sicks them on people. Like, go dox this person's account or blow up their account and shit like that. And people will do it because they think he's some kind of, like, God or whatever. And some of the other shit he does is, like, if he gets mad at somebody, he's incredibly petty. Like, there was one guy he got into it with on the internet, and that dude was just like a fucking school teacher. He's a nobody. Next thing you know, Andrew Tate's pulling up in front of this school teacher's house in like his Lamborghini or whatever, and posting pictures so his followers see this is this guy's house. And now people are fucking with his house. And it's like, I'm sorry, you do that to my house, I'm going to shoot up your fucking car.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit how much that Lambo's worth.
Yeah.
When it's got a bunch of buckshot in it.
Not worth much now.
Yeah, the other one with the whole steroid usage is Wes Watson. Now, if you watch like his earlier stuff, it's more about prison and prison life, and like there's actually some productive knowledge in there and kind of what to do when you get out of prison or how to survive while you're in prison. But as soon as he started the whole buy my course thing, and he put on like 40 pounds of muscle, because before his physique was like attainable.
Yeah.
He looked like a fairly normal dude. Just
when he was in prison, he couldn't get the steroids.
Yeah. But once he started getting that money, dude, he's like...
Well, it's like, really, it's like, dude, you're saying that everybody else, you're the alpha and everybody else is your followers. Dude, you went to prison for 10 years.
Which he actually didn't.
Well, he went to prison for... Well, he was sentenced to 10 years and served, what, 7 or something like that?
I think it was 6.
Oh, 6?
It was either 3 or 6. I can't remember.
But, I mean, really, it's the people who are paying taxes to let you sit in prison and work out all day long and study these stupid fucking things that you studied. So you really owe everybody else a thank you.
Yeah. You especially owe a thank you to the dumb people who've spent $10,000 fucking dollars to be yelled at.
Yeah.
And when you watch him, how he talks to the people who buy his course, you're a fucking bitch, dude. You're fucking nothing. Look at me. Look at my watch, bro. Just like losing his mind over the dumbest shit. When it's like, your followers will ask very basic, simple questions. What do you think about this? I can't fucking believe you would ask me that. Are you fucking stupid? You're wasting my fucking time. Like, wow, dude.
You know what's really funny is I saw a clip of some girl was talking about how to manage when somebody's yelling at you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, the easiest way to do it is to know that, think about when a dog barks. Every time they bark, their asshole clenches. And humans do it too when they yell.
That could be the pathway of how Wes Watson is making so much money.
Probably.
Right before he gets on the call, he puts a piece of coal in his ass, just starts fucking screaming, shits out a diamond.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Half-hour call, fucking, you got a 9-carat diamond?
Well, we know that he's got a thing about shoving shit up his ass when he talks about hooping his paperwork. Did you see that clip?
No.
He's like, I got my paperwork on me wherever I go at all times. You fucking wind it up. They call it hooping. You basically like round the paper to where it's like a tube.
Like a dildo.
And then shove it up your ass.
Like a dildo?
Yeah, like a dildo.
Yeah.
And all these other like ex-con people on YouTube are like, nobody does that. Literally nobody does that.
Well, it's one way to just, get a dildo-shaped thing up your ass.
He's probably like, you want to see right now? Look, there's my paperwork.
Bro, you've been out for how many years? Why are you still carrying that around?
He's like, you never know when you're going to need it. And some AA batteries.
What else you got there in your little prison wallet, bud?
It's like the scene from The Mask where they're pulling the shit out of his pockets. It's like a rubber chicken and a bazooka. And that's probably what it's like for Wes Watson.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, even one of those YouTubers was like, I honestly think that Wes Watson was sexually assaulted in prison.
Yeah.
So when he got out, he just lost his fucking mind.
Makes sense.
The math tracks on that.
Yeah. Emotionally unstable.
Likes to put stuff in his butt.
It's really funny is all these guys that talk about alpha, being an alpha, and refer to themselves in the sense of an alpha male wolf when that's not even a thing.
No, it's not.
And they don't even know that.
No.
And it's like, I know that so the term alpha male was first used in the 60s and 70s talking about wolf packs. And it was like observed, and they thought that the wolves were behaving and following the alpha male, but really it wasn't. That's not the case.
No.
When the wolves, so there's a breeding pair that's like the dominant pair, but it's just the mother and the father of the pack. They breed, have all these pups. As the pups grow older, they go off and then form new packs. Mm-hmm. And there's really no pecking order within the wolf packs at all.
Yeah.
There was one doctor that, even the guy that cited it, observed wolves for 14 years in the wild, and then retracted his statement, saying, yeah, there is no alpha male wolf at all.
Yeah.
And where that term actually came from was in the 1920s. There was a book written about alpha hens in chickens, and that was the pecking order. So it was really an alpha hen that was in charge of the roost. So the whole thing stemmed from actually a female chicken, and then they misconstrued it into alpha males. So when they talk about being an alpha male, they're like the head bitch, really.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, you pump out the most eggs.
Yeah. The most fertile hen in the roost.
Yeah, I find that the whole Wes Watson thing, especially with the alpha male, where he blatantly goes out of his way to say, I'm an alpha all the time. And it's like, I'm so close to just feeling bad for him because of how, like, demented he's become.
Yeah. And
how he just loses his mind more and more all the time. And he can't keep up with his own lies. And people call him out, and then he talks shit to these people who call him out. And it's like, dude, just own up to the shit. Nobody cares anymore.
Yeah.
If you've got money, cool. You're done. You made it. But stop lying to people.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Like the Liver King. Just stop lying, bro. You want to do steroids and get a bunch of muscles, just say that's how you got them. Don't say that you did it from walking 30 miles a day, carrying a sled with 500 pounds on it, and eating bull's testicles all day long. Come on, bro.
The only one of those alpha male guys that I'll give credit to on the steroids thing is Joey Stacks.
Yeah.
And as annoying as he is, he's blatant about it. He's like, yeah, I'm on gear, but I'm sponsored by a company. I went and got blood work done. I regularly get blood work done. So yeah, I'm on gear. Mm-hmm. I don't recommend it for children and shit like that, but if you're an adult, fuck, do what you want, but do it right.
Yeah.
So I'll give him credit on that. Liver King, on the other hand, deserves zero credit.
Yeah.
There's no way a man of his size, his stature, his age looks like that. I don't give a fuck how good your diet is. I don't care how good your training is.
I even saw one video where he was talking about that his abs are not even real.
I believe it.
Implants.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Those abs are way too perfect to be fucking real.
Somebody was like, he's like, you can get abs like this. And I don't have the time to work out. Like, no, you just got to pay for it. These aren't real.
They just come in and they make an incision right here. They stuff them in and then they sew you up.
Yeah.
Well, and it's as much like heavy lifting and everything as he does, where he has that kind of like strong man trunk. Mm-hmm. There's no way you're going to have abs when you're built like that.
No.
It's more for, what do you call it? Like, is it mesomorph? Like the smaller of the three body styles?
I don't know.
I always get them wrong because there's like ectomorph, mesomorph, endomorph. One of them is like bigger built. One of them is more in the middle.
Is there an octomorph? Because I feel like I'd be an octomorph.
8-morph? We can make it up.
I'm an octomorph.
You could be the alpha octomorph.
I'm the alpha octo.
I'll be the sigma sectomorph.
I don't know about sigma, but you can suck my.
But you could ligma. Oh, that's fucking solid. Yeah, I gotta start incorporating that.
Yeah.
Are you an alpha, beta, sigma? Because ligma. Liver King is, to me, in terms of those like Manosphere people, the bad ones, I'll say, he's like the least bad one.
Yeah.
Because there are things that he preaches that I agree with, like you should prioritize family and spending time in nature and things like that. I 100% agree with all that. What I don't agree with is the blatant lies of like, telling people for years, I'm not on steroids. I just do the 9 ancestral tenets and I eat fucking balls all day and I look like this. Like that, no. Everybody knew it. Yeah. Everybody knew he was on steroids. And then when it finally came out that he's doing $10,000 worth of gear a month, and he's like, I lied, and then try to divert it onto all this other bullshit of like, there's so many suicides going on, and mental health problems, and physical health problems. That's why I was doing steroids. Get the fuck out of here,
I was doing steroids to inspire people. Come on, man.
You inspire people with an unattainable physique?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not how that works, homie. Have you seen any of his like more recent stuff?
I've just seen reels of him like eating stuff still. Those are the only ones I really actually pay attention to because it's just so gross.
Dude, a lot of the food he eats, I'm like, no. Are you really enjoying that? Are you really enjoying ripping that eyeball out of a skull and eating it? I don't think so.
Yeah. I think it's just funny how he's like, oh my gosh, that is so delicious.
The ones that make me cringe the most is like when he's eating a piece of raw meat and he bites into it and he has to like force it and tear it away to actually get a piece of it.
Snaps and pops in his mouth.
And it's like, all right, you're going to sit there and chew that for an hour.
Yeah. Dude, what do you think the Liver King shits are like, man? Like a lion.
Dude, he talks about it a lot.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't even eat fiber, so I don't have to wipe my fucking ass. Like, you should still wipe your ass.
You should probably still wipe your ass, bro. I don't eat that much fiber, and I still have to wipe my ass. So
yeah. Just walking around in his little tiny shorts with a crusty asshole all day.
How are you going to carry that? I guess that just like more grease for carrying that sled.
I do find the this is what Liver King's having for dinner tonight videos. Some of those are entertaining because once in a while their chef Lionel, he'll cook something interesting and I'm like, oh, that actually looks pretty good. And then they'll fuck it up with like raw bone marrow and testicles and shit, and you're just like, why can't you guys eat like a normal person?
Yeah, just put some fire on that bone marrow, dude.
Yeah,
melt it.
It's good.
Yeah.
And scrape it on some toasted bread.
With some garlic, ooh-wee.
This is what Liver King's having for dinner tonight. Bone marrow with some dude's jizz on it.
My own jizz. Liver King jizz.
And a whole beast cum shake. Protein shake. I don't know. I bet like on a personal level, if you could get him to stop doing the Liver King shtick, he's probably an okay guy.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like he'd be funny.
I bet being around him while you've been drinking is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Because you would just call him on all of his shit.
Yeah.
He's over there gnawing on a ball, and you're just like, dude, you don't like that. Shut up.
Why don't you just eat some fucking chips like the rest of us?
You're just over here with a cheeseburger. He's like, snap. I really want that cheeseburger. Yeah, he's totally off his rocker now.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, it still takes a lot of dedication and hard work and training to get a physique like that, even if you're using fucking $10,000 of steroids a month. But if that's what you're doing, just say that's what you're doing. Cool.
Well, he's honest about it now, but his content has shifted gears so hard where he's like, I don't even know how to accurately describe it. It's like super patriotic, but unhinged patriotic. It's like him wearing a big fur coat and a stupid hat, holding a gun, screaming at the camera. Just not even like screaming words, just Rah! And he's just super unhinged. And some of his content is about like how much money they have now. He's like, my queen brought me 2 brand new guns for my birthday, so I bought her a golden toilet. This is a real video, by the way. And he opens up this door to a small bathroom, and there's a literal golden toilet. Okay, I'm not sure how that equates, but it's hilarious now.
That's funny. I bet it's not real gold. I bet it's gold leaf.
Either way, it's just so dumb.
It's just the porcelain toilet spray painted gold.
It's just rattle canned, and somebody charged him like 13 G's.
Yeah. Bro, I could have done it for 10.
Easily. I'd come up and undercut you for 9.5.
Yeah.
So let's go back to Joey Stacks. The biggest fucking cartoon character.
Yes.
Or sorry, the littlest cartoon character.
The littlest, the shortest, biggest.
He's a small guy.
Yeah. So he was, again, incarcerated for... I think the first time he got arrested was for drug trafficking.
Yeah, he did 2 stints of 3 years.
Yeah. And then got out, and then the second time was for assault, maybe? Or petty robbery. But yeah, another one of these guys that's, jacked up on steroids and can't control his emotions and films himself while doing these things.
I love watching those videos of him where he has like confrontations with normal people everywhere he goes.
Walmart.
And then he'll say like, I just ran into the same thing with another dude. Like, oh really? Yeah. I'm seeing a pattern.
Is it the other dudes or is it your stupid fucking ass?
And the shit he gets mad about is so dumb. Yeah. Did you see the one with the elevator?
No.
So him and his camera guy are in an elevator and they're like next to the buttons. And this other guy walks in and walks like straight to the back, to the middle. And Joey Stacks starts flipping his lid. Hey man, are you trying to get that close to me? You trying to fucking kiss me or whatever? Like, go over
get that close to me.
He's like, go over there. Like, he's the farthest away from you he can possibly be. There's 3 people in the elevator, 2 of them in these corners, so naturally he has to go to the middle, to the back, to be as far away as possible. Where do you want him to go?
Yeah. I'll take the next one. There's not much room with your fucking head size.
His voice gets me every time I hear it.
He sounds like Macho Man Randy Savage.
No,
hey brother.
Actually, I got this. So when I first kind of came across his shit and I was watching him, I was like, I know that voice from somewhere, but I couldn't place it. And at first, I thought, Macho Man Randy Savage, and then it hit me. This might take a second. When I edit this video, I'm going to put a clip of Joey Stacks and then a clip of this right next to it. But my phone is being super slow.
Yeah, I saw one where he was yelling at some old man inside that looked like a Kinko's or something like that. Because he was there first and the guy tried to help somebody else, I guess.
You were in the bathroom, bro. Well, I always find it funny, too, is he'll start shit with these normal people, and he looks dangerous, muscled and tatted up and all that. And side note, if you have to go out of your way to tell people I'm dangerous, you're not that fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, here you go.
Let's do it, guys! Right, more for time! I'm hungry. That's you're a pig. I just choose not. Zip your lips. No, we never liked those dingle dorks.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking Goldar from the Power Rangers. Yeah. We never liked those dingle dorks anyway.
Oh my gosh, that was so perfect. Woo!
Whoa. Fucking finally got you for a change.
Dingle dorks.
Oh my god. Yeah, he legit talks like that.
Yeah, that can't be a natural thing, right?
I mean, my guess is just like his larynx is damaged from all the fucking cocks that went down his throat.
Probably.
That's all I could figure.
Lots of ramming and jamming, the ripping and tearing.
Like, how do you get colon trauma through the other side? That's weird.
Yeah, there was another one I saw, him like getting to, like he was like talking shit about people in the strength cartels, like a bodybuilding.
Oh, Big Boy?
Big Boy.
Yeah.
And so he was calling him out, and so like Big Boy ran into him and was like, "Hey man, you want to get down? Yeah. Let's do this." And Joey Stacks immediately pulls out a knife.
Yeah.
Dude, you were just
You're
the one-
270, bro. You're 270. And that's all he keeps saying. You're 270. Like, doesn't matter. You talked all that shit.
Yeah,
then
you were
fuck
the
him
one that
up.
was running your mouth saying, on site. Okay, it's on site then.
Fucking Big Boy's like a foot taller than him, too.
Yeah. I mean, his name is Big Boy for a reason.
That's a very large individual.
He was even bigger before. He's lost about 60, 70 pounds, maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. He'd have to be pretty small then. Because at 270, he looked like the Hulk.
Oh, yeah, he was over 300 pounds when he first started
Sheesh.
making it. And he was doing, like, muscle-ups. Easy. And, like,
Wow.
those push-ups where you, like, fly up in the air and clap.
Mhm.
And land. Yeah.
I actually like his workout content.
Yeah.
It's pretty entertaining. Him as a person doesn't seem as bad as all the rest.
Yeah.
I bet he's just like a cool dude you can hang out with, and it's a YouTube personality.
Mm-hmm.
But still, would you like put him against Joey Stacks? He's gonna fuck Joey Stacks up.
Yeah. So he used to make a lot of videos with Cali Muscle,
Yeah.
who's another guy that's kind of on the alpha male spectrum, but in my mind, most of his videos are more parody, like...
It almost feels like satire
Yeah.
of those other guys.
Right.
And there's a part of it you kind of buy that he may be like that, but for the most part, it's like he's putting on a shtick.
Yeah.
And you know him and his boys are like watching it back or editing it going,
Laughing, yeah.
you're so dumb in this one. He's
Yeah.
like, I know.
So I've watched a lot of his videos and was entertained by them and didn't feel that cringe. Like, he does a lot of shit and talks about being like super strong and stuff like that, but then also he'll work out with like Big Boy and then be like watching him put up some real weight and like being in awe by another person who's obviously stronger
Way stronger.
and bigger, but like...
Well, even Big Boy went on to Wes Watson's fucking, like his big thing he does every year or whatever. Went to the last one, and Joey Stacks was calling him out on it, and Big Boy, I think, was like, yeah, he paid me a shitload of money to be there. I didn't want to do it, but he was going to turn down, $15,000.
Yeah.
I would too.
Yeah.
Even as much as I don't like that fucking guy, if he offered me 15 G's to be someplace, like, you bet.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do this, like, what, 2 hours?
I'll just be here and just stand there.
Yeah.
I'll yell at everybody too. Like, hey, yeah, you're a bitch or whatever Wes said.
You're
I don't know.
so beta.
You just write down all the reasons you suck and I'll sign it. Oh, dude, did you watch that Fresh and Fit clip with
the panel on the stage? Yeah.
where Wes Watson loses his fucking mind because one guy puts family above money and shit?
Yeah.
Just like a child throwing a tantrum.
Yeah.
And he's like, I will smack the shit out of you. And the one dude's like, you usually threaten armed men in Florida?
Yeah.
That's when he like started keeping his distance. Like, yeah, you could get shot for real.
Yeah. Come and slap me, dude. See what happens.
Yep.
I'll slap you right back.
With a 9.
I'll slug you.
I'll slug you. Have you watched any of Bradley Martin, the podcaster?
I've seen a lot of his clips. That's the guy that always wears the hat, right?
Yeah, he's a pretty jacked dude.
Pretty, yeah.
He's 260. He likes to tell everybody all the time. And he'll get like these professional fighters on his show.
Ask him if they
He's
could
like,
beat
yeah,
him.
you think you could take me in a street fight? And my favorite was Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is not a guy to fuck with. He would kill both of us right now.
Yes.
Nate Diaz is just trying to be so polite about it. He's like, you're a podcaster, man.
Yeah.
And if I asked him and that's what he said to me, I'd be like, you're right. We're on the same page here.
Right.
But Bradley Martin is just like, no, bro, I'm 260. Like, you'll get fucking slapped at 260. I don't give a
Like,
fuck.
bro, have you ever seen the UFC, how it first started?
I was violent.
Well, yeah, but they didn't have any weight classes.
No.
And so they had guys that were 260, 300 pounds going up against guys that were 160 pounds.
Yeah, like Tank Abbott.
Like Royce Gracie winning the first, 5 UFCs. And he's probably 6'2", maybe. He's kind of tall.
Yeah.
But he was, really skinny, and he
He's
just
probably
used
like
grappling.
Yeah, he's a gangster too.
Yeah.
Even
And would
today.
take people out, choke them out, put them in arm bars, fucking.
Well, you'd see like Tank Abbott. He wasn't a really tall guy, but he was big.
Yeah.
And he was ragdoll these smaller guys.
Yeah.
Just fucking heave them to the ground, get on top, start wailing on them.
Yep.
That's still a sanctioned fight. There were still rules versus like a street fight where there is no rules. Somebody like Bradley Martin, you're going to get folded.
Yep.
Yeah, you're big and you could probably slam somebody on the ground, but can you take a hit?
Yeah.
I don't think he can.
Well, even Nate Diaz, like, he's tall, lanky. He's probably fought big guys like that multiple times. He's been fighting. I saw a video of him when he was like 16 beating the shit out of some fucking bodybuilder that came into the gym saying that, muscles were more valuable than fighting experience, and he just choked him out.
Have you seen that video of the it's like a bodybuilder dude. He's not very big, but he's very lean, and he thinks his strength will allow him to beat a woman in a fight. And so they get this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, little tiny gal. She's probably like 5'6", 5'7". She fucks him up.
Yeah.
She folds him with his clothes on. Folds his clothes with him in him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, if you know technique, your size, your weight doesn't mean shit.
Yep.
And if you can't take a hit, you're just going to go down easy.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm an expert or whatever. Like, if I got fucking popped like that, I'd just start crying. I'm not tough.
Yeah. I don't want to fight.
It's like when you see those slapping competitions where people just stand there and trade slaps, like, I would throw that first slap and be like, you win. I'm done. I couldn't imagine getting slapped in the face at my age.
I saw one just yesterday. Stitch was showing me. I couldn't tell if it was real or if it was CGI, but one guy gets slapped and his whole
his face just
like collapses.
No, that's a real one.
Oh my gosh, dude.
That's like years of physical therapy to get everything put back together.
Oh, plastic surgery. Like, he's going to have his whole face reshaped.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And there's not even that much money in that.
No.
It's like, the grand prize winner walked away with $5,000. He's just like, looks like Sloth from fucking The Goonies now. Look at my truck. Like, you could have got that from working in a factory for a month instead.
Have you seen the new extreme fighting thing now?
No.
So it's like Japanese or Chinese. I don't know. Some Asian thing, but there's almost like a monkey bar set, but it's just a square. And they suspend it from the ceiling and then bring it down. And 4 guys hold on to the bars, and they raise it up, and it's above like these, like padding on the ground. Mm-hmm. And they blow a whistle, and then you have to hang there and try to kick the other people off. Dude, I spent like half an hour the other night just watching all these. It's so brutal because they're just like, they'll do a pull-up and just like donkey kick somebody right in the face. Pretty funny to watch, though.
I'm going to check that out.
Yeah.
Have you watched the phone booth fighting?
Yeah.
That's fucking entertaining.
Dude, I swear the Russians have the most brutal concepts for fighting sports.
They're fucking bananas.
Yeah.
And they like do it in London because they have the red phone booth.
Yeah.
But there's still only like this much space to fight in, and they still make it work, and you're just like, oh my god, this is great.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Oh my god.
We need to get these alphas into some of these, competitions.
No, they would just kill everybody.
Right.
Just ask them.
I guess it's too dangerous for everybody else.
Yeah. It's
liability for sure.
They would just kill people in waves. I don't believe Wes Watson can actually fight.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he was in prison, so he probably, I don't know. He talks about being part of like a organization inside prisons.
So somebody did like an expose on his prison record. He was never a level 4. He was in a level 1 in Oklahoma, which is like petty crimes, small time drug stuff. That's where they send you for tax evasion. And claims to be a level 4. And I was in the shoe and I spent all this time in the hole and I was a shot caller. Like, you were probably just watching TV in the fucking day room.
Yeah. You watching too much Oz, dude.
With particular emphasis on the grape scenes. It's like, God, I wish that was me.
That show was wild. Saw way too many peepees.
I only watched like a part of one episode and I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, gross. What about a female in the Manosphere, Big Pearl?
It's weird.
Pearl?
It's super weird. But she comes with a lot of facts and data, or data points. I won't say facts, but data points and numbers, and talks a lot about a lot of the stuff that she says I kind of agree with. But I could see it as putting women back, 50 years. Yeah.
That's the problem I have with her, because she makes valid points when it comes to boosting up men, or like being an advocate for men's mental health. But I don't like that she just has to trample on women to do it.
Yeah.
And there's certain factors that she's totally right on. Like 70% of marriages and relationships end because the woman initiates that, and there's a lot of things that I do agree with her on. But some of the shit she says is just like, that's not true at all. Yeah. I'm an actual man, so I can tell you that you're wrong on this one. Mm-hmm. Like, men don't want to date single mothers. Like, that's not really true. Most men don't, or at least a large portion of them. But that's not all men, Or, like, men want the traditional wife, and not all of them do, she overgeneralizes too much of what she believes men want.
Right.
And it's like, maybe the people in your stratosphere believe that, but personally, those things don't apply to me.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that I do agree with her on. And I love that she calls other women whores and shit. It's fucking great.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few clips of her, like, making a valid point and making somebody else look stupid, but then at the same time I've seen other clips of her kind of getting stuck in her own words and making herself look really stupid.
For sure.
But I can see where, she values a more conservative, more traditional relationship between a man and a woman, whereas in this day and age, that is not always a viable option.
No.
And that's just because society has changed, and so relationships have kind of evolved, past the woman stays in the house and the man goes out and earns the money. It's like, now it's more of it seems like it's more of a shared responsibility, and we're just kind of now learning how to deal with that as a society. And
I agree.
Having two people in the household trying to have a career and trying to do these things, and so trying to make it work is an ongoing struggle, I think, for most people in those situations. Mm-hmm. So you can't say that it doesn't work yet, because it's kind of a newer thing.
Yeah.
So it just hasn't been figured out the best way to do it, or the best option for it.
Yeah, and it takes time, and with everything ever growing and changing the way it does, where we don't have kind of like that same level of stability like families had for so long, where the wife did stay home and the man went out and made a living and things like that. And you just can't do that now.
Yeah.
Unless you make like $200,000 a year.
Right.
But with like the economy constantly changing, and then the way we handle relationships now with technology and things like that, where we don't have a long-term enough like baseline to understand, okay, this doesn't work, but this does, and blah, blah, blah. It's going to take many more years before people actually start figuring it out.
Right.
So let's talk about some of the good people within the Manosphere. One of my favorites is Pat McNamara. Did you look at any of his stuff?
Yeah, I went through. I actually have seen quite a few of his reels, and always think he's. It seems like he's not trying to tell you this is how you should be, this is what you need to do, and it's like he's just kind of putting it out there like a teacher. He's just showing you things that you could learn if you wanted to.
I take his stuff as more of guidance than teaching.
Right.
Where it's like, okay, you have this issue, like this is something you could do. What's your end goal? How do you want to get there? That kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Instead of just being like, here's what you got to do. A to B, that simple. And it's instead of like, you have to navigate different circumstances and things like that. And he makes his content entertaining because he seems like a really entertaining guy. And you also kind of get the vibe that like, what you see is what he actually is.
Right.
It's not putting on a face for a demographic.
It's not a character.
That's who he is, And I appreciate that a lot more.
For sure. It seems like most of his stuff is stuff that he's learned and picked up throughout his... he was a Navy SEAL or
he was in the Army,
Special
SF.
Forces.
Yeah. And he's got some really cool stories about when he was in SF, and it's not like, I was in all these operations and killed all these dudes. It's more talking about like kind of how operations were and some of the cool stuff he got to do instead of like, look at me, I'm such a badass.
Yeah.
And I always appreciated that too, because you hear that from so many of like the kind of veteran sphere of, I was in combat and I did this versus like, this is the kind of gear we used. It was super cool and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah, so it seems like like you said, it's more guidance and maybe giving a different perspective on how things could be done and how he does them and what works for him. Which is, I think, way more valuable just to get an outside perspective or a different view of, all these things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
You get stuck in your own ways, and then you almost like, sometimes you get to a point where you can't, like, there's no going back, and you can't really figure out a way forward, and you get a different perspective, and I'm like, okay, oh, shit, I didn't really think of that. And then just take a different path, So, yeah, a lot of his stuff is just really inspiring to be a better person in multiple aspects of, just being not an alpha or a beta, just a man, in general.
Just be a good man.
Yeah. And I think that, especially now where, growing up in the 90s and 80s and 90s, and that's when kind of divorces really started going crazy, and there are so many people that are single parent, raised as with a single parent, and they're might be lost and looking for guidance or a strong male figure to guide them, and they get trapped into looking at these stupid alpha males on YouTube, thinking, "Oh, this is what a man is. This is what a man should be."
Yeah,
and then taking that advice and being a fucking asshole the rest of their lives, I guess.
Just a miserable fuck everywhere they go, but they think that they're so cool.
Yeah.
I know a couple people like that.
Yeah, I know quite a few, and it's just like most of the real people, the real men that are looking at these things, just look at them and laugh like, what the fuck is that guy's deal?
And it's the same with the regular people that that have that alpha male bullshit mentality. And you look at them and you kind of pity them because it's like you have no friends. If you do have a significant other, like there's a time on that one.
Yeah.
Because eventually they're not going to put up with your bullshit anymore. And like you're sad and alone because of the way you act and the way you fucking treat people. Just change. Don't stop doing this,
Yeah.
Yeah, we all know. Of quite a few.
Yeah.
And they're always the most weak-minded, frail people. It's really sad.
Yeah, I think that it's almost, and a lot of times, like we're talking about these people we've already mentioned as the alpha males, and looking into their past, what I could find online is most of them came from a single parent, or their relationship with their parents was really fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And so they didn't have that guidance and didn't have any kind of anything to look up to. So I think they just didn't develop past that adolescent money, cars, and bitches mentality. So they're just kind of constantly stuck there.
Yeah, and when you, at least I would think so, when you think you're like this big tough alpha, like there's nobody above you. There's nobody who you can look up to because you're the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
And you can't get past your own outlook on that to go like, maybe somebody knows more than me, or maybe somebody could be guidance for me, instead of me just trying to be like, oh, I'm the fucking king.
Yeah.
There's nobody above me.
Which is really funny is, to me, I think a real leader, or an alpha leader, whatever you want to call it, doesn't have to ask people to follow them.
No.
They just do what they do, and then people are like, oh shit, let's go that way.
Yeah, well, it's that classic adage of, if you're good at something, you'll tell people. If you're great at something, people will tell you.
Yeah.
And that's just how that is supposed to work. But if you have to tell people, I'm the leader, I'm in charge, do what I say, follow me, nobody's going to want to.
Yeah.
Like, why should we? You're not actually bringing anything to the table besides fucking words.
Yeah.
You're just talking. You're not showing us anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. Oh, Jocko. Because we brought up leadership. Jocko and his, Jocko Willink, or is it Willenick or whatever? His stance on extreme leadership or extreme ownership, I always found really interesting. Like, take accountability, not just for you, but for those in your charge. And his history as a Navy SEAL, and he's seen combat and things like that, where I find his take really interesting because kind of traditionally within the military, there's a lot of peacocking, but there's not a whole lot of real leadership, versus he actually took away the leadership aspect of it instead of just the peacocking, like, I'm in charge, I've got rank. It's just like you said, when you're a real leader, people will follow you instead of telling people to follow you because you're the leader.
Right.
So he's really cool. I like him.
I don't know who that is.
Jocko?
Yeah.
He also does a podcast, and another thing I really like about him is he started a clothing line here in America. So it's like all American made stuff. It's really expensive though. He's been on Joe Rogan. He's a big advocate for jiu-jitsu and things like that. Cool dude. You'd really like his stuff.
I probably know who he is. Just the name is eluding me right now.
He's a big old silverback gorilla looking dude. I wouldn't want to fight him.
Yeah.
Maybe if I had like Wes Watson helping me, I'd
Dude,
have a
if
chance.
I had Joey Stacks and Wes Watson, I don't even need him to help me. Just like talking from behind me, my balls would grow 3 sizes.
I would want Joey Stacks to help me fight him. Like, I'll bring a step stool, and he can stand on the stools.
Or just like maybe watch you fight him from a crystal ball inside some magical kingdom.
No, you'd want to bring Joey Stacks because he'd just pull a knife.
True.
Every time.
He's got the knife.
And he
He's
pulls
going to pull it out of Wes Watson's fucking prison wallet.
I wish I was an animator. I'd make a full-ass cartoon about that.
What is fucking Zorg going to think about this?
What about Joe Rogan, I think, has kind of a place in that manosphere.
I think so. I think that he's definitely on the positive side where, again, he kind of does his own thing, tells people what he does, tells them what they could do in their situations, but doesn't give a fuck if they do it or not.
Yeah.
So I think that he's really inspirational, and he works out all the time, constantly. He does. I think he does testosterone.
Yeah.
TRT.
Well, I mean, he's almost 60.
Yeah.
And it's kind of needed at that point.
But he's super open about it.
Yeah.
And doesn't deny anything about it. But, like, I think that he's just more on the search for information, as, you and I think, are on, a similar path to, like, just, you think something is interesting, and so
delve into it.
Yeah, look into it. And
I think the only benefit he has over us is that he has the ability to reach out to specialists and expert and have them come on and talk to them about these things, versus you and I have the internet.
Yeah,
It's like
we have him his podcast.
Yeah. Well, I think people conflate using his podcast for information, and I've seen shitloads of TikToks about people who are like, if your source of information is a Joe Rogan podcast, you're automatically an idiot. Like, how? He has people on that are specialists, who have degrees, who have experience and all these things. We're not listening to Joe Rogan just to hear Joe Rogan's take on peptides or whatever.
Yeah.
We're listening to him talk to and ask questions to an expert on peptides.
Yeah.
So
or like Tulsi Gabbard or Elon Musk or Donald Trump. That was
all
on
these
there
people
last
who are
week.
going to run the country in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
Let's listen to them.
Yeah.
I think people just think it's cool to hate, is all that is.
Which is super weird.
They're like, if you think Joe Rogan is a good source of information, you're stupid. Go look at Snopes.com. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Wikipedia?
The user-edited site Wikipedia?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's the one where I draw the line where people are like, I read on Wikipedia. Whoa, 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 whoa. You can go in and edit Wikipedia. I can go in there and put in there, like, Wes Watson shoved shit in his ass on Wes Watson's Wikipedia page. They can't stop me. All they can do is wait till somebody else edits it.
Yeah, I use Wikipedia quite a bit, actually, just to get, like, basic framework of, like, a synopsis, and then kind of go sideways from there, branching out.
Yeah.
And I think
most of the time there's accurate information in there. Most of the time. But yeah, it definitely gives you more, like, talking points that will send you off in a different path to look up this aspect or that one.
Different links that you wouldn't really think about otherwise.
But if you're just quoting Wikipedia straight up, like, maybe read a couple other sources.
Yeah. And that's with everything and anything. You have to kind of look at multiple sources, because most of the time, most sources are going to be biased one way or the other in whatever you're looking at. So, I don't know. I think it's just a general rule just to kind of pick and choose what you read, and then if you believe it, then look it up from there also. Not just like, okay, that's what it said, so I believe that to
It's
be
facts.
true. It's facts.
It's facts.
So, yeah.
Well, I think the same way. It's you have to look at all the different sources and then just decide for yourself what you are going to take as gospel. Because everybody, especially news sources, they're all lying. They're all just telling the version of the story they want to tell. Whereas, case in point, you could take one story, watch how CNN portrays it, and then watch how Fox portrays it, and then just go, there's only a couple of defining points that are the same on both sides, so that's the facts.
Yeah.
The rest is bullshit.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I do appreciate about Joe Rogan's podcast is, like you said, I've heard all the things that he has to say about most of the subjects on there. I want to hear what the people that he's bringing on have to say.
Yeah.
And that's... Most of the time, it's like I don't really know who the person is. Like, I'll have a basic understanding of who they are, and then listen to what they're saying, and then from there, like, delve into their content and their other things that they have going on, and then. So for me, it's kind of more of his podcast is more of just a a gateway or an opening to all these things that I'm interested in or
For sure.
find interest in, to kind of look into further. So I definitely think that he is one of the people that's on the good side of the whole manosphere.
Absolutely, and it really needs to be more appreciated of just having like the discourse with people where even if he's talking to somebody he disagrees with, it's like they're having a conversation and not a debate or an argument. Most of the time, there's a few where you're like, this is hard to listen to.
Yeah.
Because they're both just talking over each other and nobody's really getting any point across. But
Right.
for the most part, it's like somebody will say something, he'll go, well, I don't agree with that, and this is why. And then it's a conversation where
Yeah.
people are trying to understand each other. And I think that's what society is like really lacking right now, where we can't really just talk about things openly and listen to other people.
Yeah.
Most people can't anyway. But a Joe Rogan guest that's also on the positive side for me is Jordan Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
His work is really good, and his speeches, his talks, and when he talks about not just like facts about how to be a good man or whatever, or be a high value man, but also talking about like depression and anxiety and things like that, things that a lot of people, especially men, don't talk about, where he kind of puts a different spin on it and is like, yes, you feel this way and it's okay to feel this way, but there's a pathway through that.
Right. Well, isn't he a psychiatrist? Or he has a degree in psychiatry?
I don't know what his actual
I want to say
job
he was
is.
a psychotherapist or a psychiatrist or something like that, and then kind of delved into the YouTube thing, talking on YouTube. But I think that's like he's going through some legal trouble in Canada because some of his patients were talking about like something's going on. I don't know. I haven't really looked into it that much, but
Fuck him, it's Canada.
yeah, fucking Canada.
Blame Canada! Blame Canada!
I don't know. I think that Canadians do have a super valid point about fruitfulness in life, in that the key to life and success is happiness in your asshole.
A penis in your asshole? It's been working for Wes Watson.
It's the Super Troopers Part 2 adage. The key to life is happiness in your household.
Yeah.
Happiness in your household.
Fucking French Canadians.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that I want to say that he's a psychiatrist or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So he kind of has the knowledge to back up, mental health and talking about ways through depression and stuff like that.
Do you ever see some of the clips with him? For the most part, he doesn't have like a big personality or a big way of speaking. He's actually kind of monotone.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, when he's talking and he's feeling impassioned, you're like, okay, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that energy. But you'll see him like being interviewed by somebody he doesn't like plainly, and he's just like, I just eat meat and salt. That's it. And he just looks like he's just miserable to be there.
In all honesty, I would probably be miserable in all aspects of life if I just ate meat and salt also.
I agree. I like flavors.
Yeah. Throw some cayenne pepper in there. Cayenne pepper can't be that bad for you, right?
No.
Pepper?
I think most seasonings are not bad for you.
Yeah.
And
Except for MSG. Those fucking Asians, dude.
I'm down with MSG.
Me too.
I don't give a fuck. I'm never going to have six-pack abs, so I'm okay with MSG.
No, I prefer a keg.
Yeah. No, dude, I got washboard abs. There's just laundry on top. That's all.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's true. Like, now, the whole like carnivore diet of just eating meat all the time, I can do it for like a few days, and like we were talking about last time I was here, is like I can do it for a few days, but then I kind of have to indulge in some of the other things and trying to not eat like a shitload of carbs or anything like that. But you feel good while you're eating a lot of meat, but you're just like, it takes a toll on your mentality because you're like, God, you know what sounds great? Fucking cheesecake.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you have to feed that too, or you're just going to fall off completely.
Well, I think that, all of those things are aspects that tie into your mental health. Chemicals included, like, stuff that's in your food. You're craving something because you are probably deficient in something.
Yeah.
You can have hard sugar cravings, and that's probably just because of most people are addicted to sugar, but like, you can feed that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you are addicted to sugar, if you dial it back or take a long break from it to the point where when you come back to it, your sense of desire has changed. And it's the same with like alcohol. When you drink too much for too long and then you take a break from it and you come back, you can't drink the same way. You don't want to consume a massive amount. It's like, I want to satisfy that craving, but I don't want to feel miserable.
Right.
And it works just the same with sugary foods or sweets, where it's like, I used to be able to down a whole cake. Now it's like a small slice and I'm done.
Yeah.
Because it's too much. It's an overload, and then I feel like dog shit afterward.
Yeah.
And it was like, what was that for? So I could have 5 minutes of like mouth pleasure where I was like, oh, this tastes so good. And now my stomach hurts for the rest of the night, I knew you were going to do it. There's no other way to say that.
No, there is no other way to say that your tummy hurts from 5 minutes of mouth pleasure.
5 minutes is being generous.
You're pretty good at 5 minutes, dude.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't be good at that at all.
Me neither.
The whole time I'd be...
This tastes like hot dog water.
The chocolate starfish in the hot dog flavored water. Oh, yeah. What about... I've got a couple actors that I kind of put in the positive side of the Manosphere. And one of them is Matthew McConaughey. Have you listened to his, like, speeches?
Again, I've only gotten, like, shorts. But they're all pretty inspiring.
They're really good. And it's more than just saying, this is what you got to do. It's him, like, one of them in particular was his like, 10 rules to life. And he talks about doing regular check-ins. Like, I got to do a check-in with myself. Am I doing good? Or am I having problems with myself or whatever? And then do a check-in with, like your wife. Like, am I being a good husband? Am I doing what I need to do? Blah, blah, blah. Check in with your children to make sure you're being a good father. Things like that. And being able to reprioritize your own life to backfill those voids that you keep leaving. Like, he'll talk about, I'd go off and do a movie, and then when I come back, I feel like my relationship with my wife is strained, so I have to put effort into that and take away a little effort from making a movie or whatever. But I think the one thing that he preaches that has stuck with me so much is the difference between happiness and joy. Whereas you predicate happiness on a goal, like, okay, if this movie does good, I'll be happy. Or if I make this big paycheck, I'll be happy. And you're not finding any happiness between point A and point B. You're just kind of existing, waiting for that outcome to be able to feel happiness. And instead, it's finding joy in the moment-to-moment, joy in the work, joy in the things that you're going to do along the way. And then the ending is doesn't predicate whether you're happy or not, because you had joy this whole time. You took joy in the work. You took joy in spending time with people and things like that. And once I heard that immediately changed my entire aspect on everything of, like, especially with our job, you work Hell Week and you go, this fucking sucks. oh, I can't wait for long change. You know, I can't wait for my days off. But it's like you're just miserable for those 4 days you have to work, and then you're off, and then it's just like everything just still kind of feels mediocre.
Yeah.
Versus going, I'm here for 12 hours. I work with people I enjoy hanging around. I'm going to enjoy my time with them while I'm here. Yeah, we're on the clock. Yeah, we have to do work, but that doesn't mean we can't have fun. We can't enjoy each other's company and things like that. So once I kind of had a grasp on that, it really changed my whole paradigm of understanding what happiness really is.
Yeah.
There's no end goal. There's no finish line.
No, it's just it really is a mindset. Like, you can set your mind as, oh, this is going to suck. You know, a lot of people, even I go through it, like, we'll come in and then we have to do like a turnaround, you know. It's going to be a lot of hard work and long. It's going to be a super long day, and you know, sometimes I'm just like fucking an asshole about it, and it's just like I'm in this mood of like, this sucks, this is so dumb, and everything that happens just pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like other times where it's like, okay, we're gonna have to do this, let's fucking just do it.
Yeah.
And then talk some shit, have some fun, you know, do what we gotta do and get through it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Play some pranks and gently bully your friends.
Play some pranks and bully people that I don't mind to get bullied a little bit. Let them bully me.
I mean, they can try.
Yeah. That's always fun. But yeah, I totally agree. I hear what you're saying, and it sounds like a bunch of beta bullshit, dude. I'm a fucking alpha. I do what the fuck I want. My fucking way.
I sincerely encourage anybody who's listening to go onto YouTube and look up some of those names that we've mentioned. And I had to really try to understand why I went down the rabbit hole on those people to begin with. And part of it is just like seeing clips here and there of some of these people and go like, what the fuck? And that's what started me on it. But when I got into it and I was just hooked, because it's like watching TV. It's stranger than fiction.
Yeah. It's like Jerry Springer.
That's a good analogy. It's like Jerry Springer, but for douchebags.
Yeah.
But then I kept going into it, and I had to figure out why, and I went, oh, it clicks. I understand now. Because I watch these douchebags, these fucking tools, and I feel better about myself.
Right.
And that is worth it.
Maybe that's what the whole lure about these alphas really is.
I doubt it.
No, yeah.
It's all ego.
Sad.
Maybe we should create a character for YouTube that's super alpha.
We should.
We'll just make it as cringy as possible.
We need to get some bald caps.
Bald caps, yes. We've already got the beards. We're halfway there.
We got beards.
We need fake tattoos.
Fucking ripped.
We're going to be like the Hans and Franz of the Manosphere.
Yeah.
It's just,
Coming soon to a YouTube channel near you.
And it's just us arguing who's more alpha. No, I'm way more fucking alpha than you.
Only a beta would fucking say that.
And then
We
you
gotta get some voices.
Then you go to hit me, and I'm like, "You're 260, bro." Or sorry, it's 270. There was one of those clips after that where I think he was like working on his house or something like that. Joey Stacks, and he's like yelling at his fucking neighbor, and his neighbor
calls the cops.
Yeah, well, one of them he called the cops, but there was another one, and the neighbor was straight up like, "What are you worried about? I'm not 270." And he's like, "Oh, you did your research, huh? You're not 270." Like, that's what he said.
I'm not a fucking 270 in the back, though.
I got a 223 that'll fucking stop you.
Oh yeah, super interesting dive and cringy as fuck. But yeah, if you're interested in having a good laugh, there's definitely, I would recommend looking into the people like Joey Stacks, Wes Watson, Liver King, looking into these people, but look at the videos where the people are talking shit about them. Way more entertaining. I don't know. I guess we talked a bunch of shit about him today, so
That's fine.
that's fine.
I mean,
I am 290 actually, so
you're 290, bro. Where's my knife?
I'm about to get fucking stabbed, bro.
Yeah, it makes for a good laugh, and there's a part of me that wishes like more people I knew had been like equally invested as we are at this point, where I could like tell the jokes to other people. We could fuck around with it all the time.
Yeah.
Or I could just walk up to somebody and do a Joey Stacks thing, and they would laugh, you know? Because now you can't unsee it.
No. I don't know if I'll be able to see any of his clips and not fucking think of... The bad guy's name is Zorg? Or Zorb?
Oh, from Power Rangers?
Power Rangers?
Oh, no, it's Goldar that does that voice.
Right.
Yeah. And then there's Lord Zed.
Zed. Yeah.
But he also kind of sounds similar, but he just doesn't... I think he's just not as loud.
Yeah. Lord Zed is isn't he the main bad guy?
Yeah, he's got like
and then
the weird helmet, and it looks like his skin is inside out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Power Rangers are so alpha.
Alpha as fuck.
Alpha as fuck.
Dude, no, I want more people at work to know who Wes Watson is. So, like, if I'm on break and somebody comes up and is like, hey, there's an alarm on the Foxborough, I could just start going fucking hard. I can't fucking believe you wouldn't know what the fuck to do with that. Fucking beta pussy bitch. Could you imagine, like, getting into an altercation with him and he starts talking like that? You're just like, you'd laugh in his face.
Yeah.
Like, dude, are you about to shit your pants?
Are you okay? Do you need a timeout?
That vein in your fucking forehead is bulging.
That's what it is. It's just like a temper tantrum of like a 7-year-old.
It is. They're like one step away from throwing themselves on the floor and just kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
Just like, I didn't get the cereal I want.
Fucking rage dancing across in the forest like Hot Rod.
It's like the scene in Footloose.
Dancing in the factory.
Let me rage dance my anger out.
Maybe we should make that more of a thing. We can talk about that in men's mental health, rage dancing.
Rage dancing, I like it. Fuck it. Put that in my notes right now. Rage dancing. Yeah, this was a fun conversation. I'm glad you watched the video, so now we have more inside jokes.
Yeah.
And maybe some clips that we can film for funsies.
Yeah, maybe. For sure. Yeah. We can do some inspirational videos.
I'm down.
Talk about the sick-ass ride, the sick-ass whips we have outside.
Oh, dude. And like, only dating high-profile top chicks.
Yeah.
I mean, with Wes Watson, they're escorts, but...
Yeah. Well, everything's rented, so... I rented this fucking Ferrari.
I own all my shit. Look, pinks, pinks, pinks. It's just handwritten. Wes Watson owns this car. Yeah, that was fun. I'm glad we talked about it.
Yeah.
Until the next one.
Until the next one.
Okay, I love you. Bye.
Bye.